and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
When you walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, I love we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. He can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's who I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Nah, you know, we just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our, Throwback Thursday already. I mean, wait a minute. Is it Thursday? Because if it's Thursday, then that means it's football day because the Houston Texans are in Kansas City to take on the Chiefs tonight. In NFL football. You better come on here like you know it is Football Thursday, the opening night of the NFL. And I'm telling you now, I'm going to be in front of it. Do not call me tonight looking like talking about, I got some questions. What are your questions? I want to understand the nature of our relationship. We don't have one. You call me tonight. You call me tonight between 7:20 and around 10 o'clock, I promise you, you're not going to get the answer you want. If I answer, you would be better served to say, man, how about them Texans, and just hang up. I'm just telling you. Ladies, tonight is the night. Tonight is the night. Okay, wait. We got a first-time viewer. And of course, I would be acting up when we got a first-time viewer. So let me get on here and see who our first-time viewer is. Is it Lee Love? Lee Love, first time watching. Lee, welcome to the program. Lee, welcome to the program. Lee, if you have a phone, call us, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. If you are on one of those gigs that you can take a few minutes to get on the phone and talk, we want to say hi to you, Lee, if you get a chance. All right? But yeah, ladies, don't do it tonight. And men, don't do it tonight. You know, there's some brothers out there that They pride themselves on not being sports fans, and they just talk all kinds of craziness in the middle of a sporting event. Like, hey, did you know that the theory of relativity was actually called the theory of theology when it first came out? It's like, bro, if you don't get away from me right now, I swear everything I love, your mama gonna miss you. I promise you. Please go away right now. I'm just telling you, man, I'm trying to help folks out. We used to put out a survival guide for how to make it through the NFL season. I haven't done that in years. I might have to find it and dust it off and try and help some people and try and help some folks. Aki, you know what I'm talking about. Aki, how many people have you broken up with because they bothered you in the middle of football season? I mean, for real. Or better yet, how many folks broke up with you? My bad. Aki, my bad. Y'all, all joking aside, we have got to give credit where credit is due. Dr. Aki Davis was on it. He was dead right on what was going on with LaMarcus House. And I know a lot of folks rolled their eyes, and I know a few folks that call Dr. Aki their friend and their brother that, you know, they don't give him credit for what he does. And the brother was dead on it. He was exactly right. We'll talk about LaMarcus House in a second. Let me go to the phone line though real quick. Hello, you're live on a lunch break. Who's this?
This is Lee.
Hey, Lee, love. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing fine. Thank you. You're a first-time caller and first-time viewer.
I am.
How did you find the lunch break?
Michelle shared it on her page, and then I know of the coach.
Oh, LaMarcus, Coach LaMarcus is going to be on the show.
Yes, sir.
Well, how about that? I am really excited about that. LaMarcus Franklin is going to be on the show. Did you go to that school?
No, I am originally from Mississippi.
What part of the SIP are you from?
Macomb.
Now I got well, I don't know if I still have family there, but I used to have family in Greenville, in Laurel.
Yes.
You know those areas. I used to hang out in Starkville at Mississippi State.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in another life. I'm a Kappa Alpha Psi.
Okay.
And we had some good brothers on the campus at Mississippi State, so I would go and visit them. And you know they had some good sweethearts up there, so I had to go and visit them too.
Okay.
Now, you still go home? How's the family doing down there in Mississippi?
They're doing great. I moved here to Texarkana, so I go occasionally, but I'm chilling right now.
All right, now, wait a minute. Now, inquiring minds want to know, how do you get from Mississippi to Texarkana? Like, there's a whole bunch of other cities in Texas before you get to Texarkana. How'd you get up there?
Well, I lived here one time before. Me and the kids liked it. When I moved back down to the SIP, not a lot of opportunity really down there.
Yeah.
I liked it better here. So I get that a lot while I'm here is what made you want to come back here. I was like, if you go to the town that I came from and compare the two, this actually is the better of the two.
Yeah, I get it. A lot of folks don't understand that. But, hey, I'm really glad that you've tuned in. And do me a favor. Stay connected with us. We like good people. We got a group here called the Lunch Break Crew, and they are phenomenal people, and we want you to be a part of that phenomenal group, okay?
All right, I sure will.
All right, Lee Love, y'all. She's a first-timer. Y'all give her a lot of lunch break love now. Lee, you take care, and you take care of those beautiful children. How many children do you have?
I have 3, 2 girls and a boy. One is playing volleyball right now, my daughter.
All right. Now, you got to keep us in touch with how she's doing now. You got to let us know. Now, is your son the youngest?
Yes, he is.
You tell him I'm praying for him. You hear me? You tell him I'm praying for him. I was the youngest, and I had a sister that was right above me, and having her right above me was like having 3 parents because she used to treat me like I was her child. I'm like, you're only a year older than me.
That's true. That's true. She's the mama. My 16-year-old is the mama.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Listen, you let him know he's got somebody praying for him. I understand his pain.
All right. I will.
All right. Take care, Lee. Good to hear from you, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Lee Love, y'all. I love those first-time callers. I mean it. Y'all keep her in prayer, okay? All right. Hello. You're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
This is LaMarcus Franklin.
Hey, LaMarcus. How you doing, sir?
Hey, Mr. Jones, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. We're supposed to be talking to you at 12:20. You're supposed to be on the video and everything. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. I'm just getting everything set up.
All right. Well, you get it set up. We'll talk to you in about 7 minutes.
Gotcha.
All right, man. We're looking forward to it.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Coach LaMarcus Franklin going to be on the show in just a little bit. We'll have him on video. You'll get a chance to see him, get to know about him from up there. I have to represent, me and the founder and the host of Black College Experience, Keisha Kelly. We decided that every week we're going to represent a different HBCU and mine today is Miles College. Mine today is Miles College. So I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, I'll tell you a little bit about Miles College. So y'all stay right there, right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It's Throwback Thursday on the legendary KYOK.
Non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who've helped people that have been injured or wronged. Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Are you one of the millions who have taken Zantac or other generic versions of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of this popular drug. They've banned sales and even removed it from the market. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the legal helpline now. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. And there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. So please call now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
You're having your lunch on the lunch break with KYOK.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Throwback Thursday, and we got some first-time viewers, first-time callers on the show. They're going to be checking out our special guest. Going to be tuning in just about 5 minutes here on the show, and want to appreciate everybody. They'll be tuning in for the first time. As you see, I'm wearing the T-shirt of Miles College. Miles College began organization efforts back in 1893 and was founded in 1898 by the Colored Methodist Episcopal Church. It was chartered as Miles Memorial College in honor of Bishop William H. Miles. In 1941, the name was officially changed to Miles College. They are located where? In Fairfield, Alabama. Fairfield, Alabama. And they say knowledge and peace and love for us all. But I got a chance to see them when they came in town for the Battle of the Bands last year. And they said, we stay up late, but we graduate. And I love that about them. So Miles College is who we're repping today. So there you go. All right, I see our special guest has jumped on here. Let me see if I can't get him in. There he is, y'all. Coach LaMarcus Franklin. Coach Franklin, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Mr. Jones. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, man. Any better, I'd have to pay admission.
I hear you.
Hey, man, we got some folks pretty excited about you coming on, man. Look, I'm just going to be straight with you. I'm that kind of dude. They saw your picture, and I got some folks tuned in today. You know what I'm saying? You got the guns up and all that, man. They just, ooh, I don't know nothing about football, but I'm tuned into that right there. The lunchbox, what?
It's all good, man. I'm just so thankful for you and your staff for having me on today, man, and just looking forward to a great show.
Man, well, tell us about you, man. Tell us about who you are, where you're from, what you do.
All right. Say my name is LaMarcus Franklin, coach here at Liberty-Eylau, here in the city of Texarkana, Texas. I've been in education now for 14 years, coaching. And I've coached at Liberty-Eylau, and I've coached at Texas High, which is Texarkana High School here in Texarkana.
Okay.
Played ball down at Northwestern State University, and also played a little bit of arena ball up north in Iowa. And so just got a long background, the history of things, and also, man, youth minister and assistant pastor now at a church. So, man, and just got a plate full. You know, I'm active in the community, do a lot of things, so just a lot of stuff.
No problem. We got you. Good catch, good save. Where are you originally from? Where are you born and reared?
I'm originally from Texarkana, Texas. I spent maybe the first 7 years of my life somewhere along there in the Philippines. My mom's first husband was stationed there in the Air Force. So I got a chance to spend a little time overseas on Clark Base, man, and get some good food over there in an Asian culture.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, that's different. Now, what was that like? What was that like being a young person over in a whole nother foreign country?
It was fun. You know, I got to see a lot of things, you know, that I didn't get to witness in the States. like I said, a lot of good food is one thing I remember. I remember a little bit as far as the people there and their culture. You know, it was just different. But I tell you this, man, and it's kind of a joke I tell everybody, that's the best Kentucky Fried Chicken I ever had in my life. Over there. So I'm going back one day, man, just so I can go see if it's still the same.
I hear you. I hear you. We've got Coach LaMarcus Franklin joining us from Liberty-Eylau right here on the show. And, man, you know, a lot of folks don't realize that when you go to some of these foreign countries, you see some of the same restaurants. And, you know, they might have a few things inside of them that they're a little different. I was in Australia, and, of course, they had a McDonald's, KFC. The meat there tastes totally different than the meat here. And, man, I'll tell you what, I don't normally eat it here, but I was eating it up there.
You know exactly what I'm talking about then.
Absolutely. So, you know, when you were young in the Philippines, then you came back. You guys went right back to Texarkana?
Yes, went back to Texarkana. We stayed in Los Angeles for a little while, but nothing too much that I remember too much as far as Los Angeles, you know.
Yeah.
But I do remember coming back home here with my grandparents and, you know, living it up in Texarkana, man.
Tell us about that journey, man, in playing at Northwestern and then getting into the Arena Football League. Tell us about that.
Was fortunate enough, man, blessed by God to be able to have a chance to go to Northwestern State University, play 3 seasons there. And after those 3 seasons, was able to get a connect to go into Arena Football up in Iowa. Played a season there and got a season-ending injury.
Okay.
Which kind of led me into coaching. They allowed me to stay on, and I was just in the locker room giving a speech one day, and the owner just asked me if I would stay on and be a coach. So I started coaching with the Arena team, and then from there I got hooked up with a college team, Morningside College there in Iowa, before returning home to my alma mater here at Liberty-Eylau, and began coaching there. Like I said, spent 7 years at Liberty-Eylau, and I went to Texas High for 5 years, and now I'm back at Liberty-Eylau.
So I got to get ready to take a break. Was that something that you wanted to do? Obviously, you wanted to play. What position did you play, by the way?
I was the defensive back, receiver, quarterback, and just one of those athletes, man, just all over the field.
I got you. You were Cordell Stewart before Cordell Stewart, huh?
Exactly. That was one of the guys I idolized, man. I really did. Yes, sir.
I hear you. So you know, again, you wanted to play. Obviously, you had the injury. Was there anything in your mind that said, hey, I want to be a coach, or did they just see you that day and say, man, this young man would be great leading these young men?
Yeah, that's exactly what happens, that latter part there. My intentions were to go back into rehab, get ready for the next season, and be ready to go. But like I said, sometimes God has a different way. And just get in there, they heard me that day talking, and, man, it just took off from there. Yeah,
I hear you. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more with Coach LaMarcus Franklin about his journey into coaching. And, Coach, want to get into, you know, some of the things with what you guys are doing with your season and how y'all are handling COVID and that kind of stuff like that. We'll do that when we come back right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. If you want to get in with your questions, you can hit us up, 281-453-1000. That's 281-453-1000. It's the lunch break.
Only you can satisfy.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. 2 radio stations in one.
You're home. You're a diabetic. You need supplies, but you don't want to visit the pharmacy. What do? Call US Med for home delivery of your supplies. If you have diabetes and you're worried about going to a crowded pharmacy, pick up the phone in the safety and comfort of your home and let US Med deliver them to you with free shipping. And now if you test your blood sugar 4 more times a day and inject insulin 3 or more times a day, you may qualify to get a new continuous glucose monitor at little or no cost, which may eliminate the pain of pricking your fingers and helps you make smarter diabetes decisions. Plus, we'll send you a 90-day supply and bill your insurance company for you. Get some peace of mind. Call US Med today.
800-417-0851. 800-417-0851. That's 800-417-0851.
Now is a great time to replace your worn-out windows during the Renewal by Andersen 25-year savings event. Upgrade your home today. Buy 4 windows and get the 5th one free. Plus, get 12 months with no interest, no money down, and no payments. Call now. Get 4 windows and get the 5th one free. Installation and warranty included. Renewal by Andersen takes every CDC recommended safety precaution to protect your family. For 25 years, people have trusted us for their window replacement needs, and you can too. Call now to learn about our buy 4, get the 5th one free window replacement offer.
800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. That's 800-245-1537.
It's the lunch break on KYOK.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It's our Throwback Thursday. Got a special guest joining us all the way from Texarkana. It is Coach LaMarcus Franklin from Liberty-Eylau. And,
yes, sir.
What's y'all's nickname up there at Liberty-Eylau?
Eylau. That's what we call ourselves, Eylau.
Okay.
We are the Leopards as a mascot, but we just go by Eylau most of the time.
Just go by Eylau. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's say y'all come about that business if y'all just go by listen. We are who we are. You know, you just be who you gonna be.
We're well known throughout the state.
Got you. I don't get up that way very often. You know, and here in Houston we got a couple of teams, and then you know they have some folks up in San Antonio, Austin, and up there in the Dallas area that we cover from a state. What level of play? 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A. What are y'all?
We're 4A.
4A. Okay. So I know in the state of Texas, the 4A schools were able to start their practice and their season earlier than the 5 and the 6A. Have you guys already gotten started? And what's everything looking like for you all up there?
Yes, we actually got started the week before last. We opened up, and you know we suffered a season, you know, loss, the first loss of the season there. But it was kind of expected because of how COVID has been. We weren't able to get any scrimmage games in to kind of test our guys out, especially with a rebuilding year. And so, you know, it's kind of those things that you kind of expect would happen with a first game, you know.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, everything seems to be okay. You know, crowd participation and all those things. Those are some of the things that I was worried about to see how that would play out, you know, because you're supposed to have so much social distancing and all those things. But however, you know, the stands were packed, you know, to the capacity that we could have. Bands playing. So it was just like a normal Friday night, you know.
Okay. Now, before you got to before y'all got up to your regular game, did y'all get all your players back, or did any of them opt out of the season? And what were some of their concerns about coming back playing in this new environment?
There were a lot of concerns going into it. However, we were fortunate enough to just have a good staff around us and good administration, you know, that was able to get word out into the community and to the parents and kind of reassuring them that we were going to be able to take care of their children, you know, while they were here and their athletes. A lot of our kids came back. I don't think we had anybody from our junior varsity and our varsity squads to kind of opt out. Some of the kids that are in our lower levels, you know, our freshmen, our junior high, you know, some of those kids and their parents, they opted out for the season, which is very understandable.
Sure.
But for the most part, we got everybody back, man. We're rocking and rolling.
Can you share with us what kind of protocols y'all put in place to make sure that the kids were going to be safe during practice and workouts and drills and things like that?
Right. A lot of it's just following the regular UIL protocol, of course, keeping the social distance, you know, making sure that we're 6 feet apart, which is a hard thing to do when you got a lot of kids that's running around, you know, and they're used to being around each other. But we watch that not only on the field, but we're watching in our weight rooms, make sure we're cleaning things down each day after we get done with things. Also encouraging the kids and their parents, you know, to kind of remain in their circle that they already have, you know, not expanding and trying to, you know, be around other people at this time. And I think for the most part, that's kind of helped us out and just watching for the symptoms. And if there's an issue, you know, we make sure we get those things taken care of.
Yeah. Have you guys had any issues? Has anybody? We
did. We had an issue at the beginning of the year where one of our players had tested positive for the COVID. However, we had to put that whole position group out for the week, whatever. And so they all had to go get tested before they came back. Everybody came back, you know, with negative reports. And, you know, we've been fine ever since then. One of the things is, I believe, man, it's just prayer. It's one of those things, just felt led by God to pray over our facilities after that. And after we done that, man, we hadn't had any cases. So I just put that out there for anybody who want to receive it, man.
Amen.
Prayer is a powerful thing.
Absolutely. We got Coach LaMarcus Franklin joining us from Liberty-Eylau up in the Texarkana area. Appreciate you making the time to be on the team. So then, like you said, you got up to your first game. What was the biggest challenge, man, going into that game, and even when the game was going on? You as a coach, are you position coach, offense coordinator, defense coordinator? What do you do?
I'm the quarterbacks coach, and I'm also special teams coordinator.
Okay.
So there, there's a lot of anxiety, especially going in, your first year. As far as for me being a coordinator this year, that was a big thing, and the quarterback coach.
Right.
But just kind of making sure that the kids are ready to go, with their nerves, because like I said, we have a young team, a lot of guys that's playing in starting roles. They hadn't had a varsity game experience before. So the main thing was just managing their emotions, and helping them to weather through the storm of what happens on the Friday and Friday night games. And for the most part, I think they handled it well. They really showed that they were able to handle the situation. They executed and did the things they needed to do, for the most part of it. So we'll clean up what we need to clean up, and we'll move forward to this week.
Was it a better team that you all were playing, or was it just your guys getting over those nerves? And like you said, you couldn't scrimmage.
Right.
So getting somebody other than your own guys was different.
It definitely was. Now, nothing to take away from Henderson. Henderson is a pretty good ball team, and they're pretty much known throughout the state as well.
Yeah, I know Henderson very well.
Oh, yeah. But, like I said, it's just our guys, that first game experience. And like I said, not having a scrimmage, Henderson had already had a game under their belt. So it was just one of those things. And we ended up, I think it was 21-12, and a couple plays here and there, and it's a totally different ball game.
Yeah, I got you. Again, Coach LaMarcus Franklin joining us here on the lunch break. Now, you mentioned that the stands were full. How did you feel about that with full stands? I understand there was a capacity, but you guys were right at that capacity.
Right. You was kind of worried about that, because especially you have family members that are there. And so, of course, you are worried about that, and you wonder if, will there be an outbreak, or will somebody, you never know what could happen from that. And it's very serious, because if you get an outbreak from one of the parents up there, then we lose a kid, or we may lose some kids from that. But I think, like I said, our administration, our school board and all them, they did a great job of, managing the game and making sure that all that was safe and people were staying at a safe distance. And we had no reports.
Yeah, that's good. Are you guys both in school and virtual, or are you one or the other? What's Liberty-Eylau doing?
We're doing both. However, in order to be able to participate in sports, they made it mandatory that you have to be at school.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Help me understand that.
I don't know, man. You have to go talk to the people that made those decisions. That's a little bit above my pay grade.
Bro, let me tell you something. I'm a dad. In fact, I'm a dance team dad. I got to go pick my baby girl up from dance team.
We share that same thing then.
Hey, man, and I'm telling you right now, she's virtual. And I wish they would tell me that I can't play because she at home.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I shifted.
I scratched my head on that one as well, man, because some other schools were doing it. But like I said, it's worked out so far. So, hey, we'll keep rolling.
Yeah, I hear you. We got Coach LaMarcus Franklin joining us here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Now, you played at Northwestern State. You've seen some of the major Power 5 conferences, the Big Ten, the Pac-12 decide they're not going to play because of the information that they got from their medical advisors. And then you see the other conferences, the Big 12, the SEC, and the ACC decide they're going to play. And not only are they going to play, but they're talking about crowning a champion. As a former college player, how do you feel about that, especially if you had been in one of those conferences that chose not to play for valid medical reasons?
Yeah, I think you have to respect that because I know we all love to play the game. We want to get out and do things as normal, but we have to understand that this is also very serious. This is not just somebody catching a cold and coming back. We have people that are dying from this, that's going around. So whenever you throw death into the equation, then you have to respect that. And I think it's something that we all have to look at, for those other conferences that's choosing to play, man, just hats off to them. And we just have to, pray for them and pray that, they stay safe.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think we're chasing money, because you have to think about it. Football brings a lot of money into schools. especially on those levels. You know, that's how some of them survive. And so I understand the decision that they have to make, because at the end of the day, you know, school has to go on. So, you know, like I said, it's just one of those things. I respect both sides, man, and just pray that everything will go well.
Yeah. Again, Coach Franklin played at Northwestern State. Northwestern State's in the Southland Conference?
Yes, sir.
Southland Conference, okay. So let me ask you this. As a player, if they had handed you a piece of paper and said, if you just sign this waiver, then you'll be able to play. You 18, 19, might be 20. What you going to do with that piece of paper?
Well, knowing me, I probably would sign it because I'll be ready to play. And I just say, you know, I'll take
answer, Coach, and I'm glad you were straight up with us, man. You know, yeah. I mean, say it again. You would have signed it because you want to do what?
I want to play.
Yeah, I hear you.
And you got to think, you know, at that age, you don't really have that much responsibility. Like, you don't have a family and all that you have to worry about, you know, except for your parents back home. So you think you can do it. So,
yeah. Coach, somebody's called in. Let's see if we can take this call. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this calling?
Hey, Jay, it's Todd.
Hey, Todd, how you doing? You're on with me and Coach LaMarcus Franklin from Liberty-Eylau up there in Texarkana.
I had a question for your guest.
Yeah.
So, Coach Franklin, did you ever, prior to the season starting with COVID, did you ever question it was the right decision to move forward and play? And once you started seeing the information out there with maybe heart issues, long term, did you ever think, man, are we even doing the right thing here of trying to play? I'll hang up and listen.
Thanks, Todd. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you for that question. Yes, I definitely did. One of the big reasons is I've been at a school where we've lost players. At Texas High, we had a kid who had an underlying issue with a heart disease that we knew nothing about.
Yeah.
And after a game, the kid went home and he passed away. So like I said, when you start putting depth into the equation, you really have to step back and think about it, you know, because like I said, yeah, we want to play, but we're talking about somebody's life.
Yeah.
You know, we can always get football back. It'll come back another season. But once a life is gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
I did hate it for the seniors, you know, because that's one thing I question, you know, will they have a shot, you know, of getting a scholarship and all these things like that. But again, life is more important than football. You know, and that's something that we continue to teach our young players and our athletes. You know, this game is fun. You love it and you learn a lot from it, but it doesn't beat, you know, your family and life and all those other things. They're more important.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that answer, and it was a very good question by Todd. Especially when I look at some of the coaches at the bigger programs. I got to tell you, a couple of people who just need to be quiet. And Coach, you don't have to say, man, because I know these might be your colleagues, but Nick Saban down there at Alabama, Dabo Swinney, who is a man of God over there at Clemson, and Coach over at Oklahoma State. They need to just hush, bro. They need to just hush because they literally are manipulating, and I'll even throw Scott Frost up there in Nebraska in there. They're literally manipulating the situation to make it seem like these kids are not going to make it if they don't play.
Right.
And, you know,
exactly.
We men of faith, number one, but also we know these communities where some of these kids come from. They have no idea. They came through hell and high water just to get to your program.
Exactly.
They are not their savior. They're not going to die because they can't play in your program.
Exactly.
So, I'm again, if you got comment, that's fine, but I just have to get that out every chance I get.
Well, I'm definitely with you. You know, whenever you try to make it seem that way, that you're the only way or avenue for somebody, then, you know, you pushing the envelope right there. You know, like I said, there's so many different options and so many ways that people can get to where they need to go. But like I said, death, that's the thing you got to think about. Is their life more important to you than that game, or is the game more important than life? That's a decision you got to make, you know?
Yeah, I really do. And Todd Malcolm said Lincoln Riley, that's another one over at Oklahoma, literally saying that they're not going to report any of the COVID numbers. Now, we know that they can't report individuals and that kind of stuff because it gives the other team a competitive advantage.
Well, I don't know exactly how that, unless they're releasing names, I see that you can get advantage in that. But I can't see as far as with the numbers. I don't see that right now.
Yeah, Coach, let's switch gears. We pray. I love the way you said that. We definitely gonna be praying for everyone involved with COVID-19. We got a little social unrest going on. little social injustice, racial discrimination. We got police brutality. We unfortunately have seen far too many people that look like you and me, male and female, that have had their lives taken unjustly at the hands of police officers, and there be little to no justice. I know that on a college level, you've had, guys literally say, we're not practicing until we address this, and they've made a list of demands. Have you had anybody on your team or on other teams that you know of that have said, hey, this is an issue to me?
I can't hear him. Hello?
Can you hear us, Coach? Yeah, we can hear you.
I think that I've kind of lost a connection there.
Okay. We can hear you, but we can't.
You can hear me? Okay, I can't hear you.
Okay, all right.
So, hold on one
all
second.
right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break, Coach, and you go ahead and try and fix it. All right, so he's going to try and fix his connection. We'll come back. Very good conversation with Coach LaMarcus Franklin from Liberty-Eylau up in the Texarkana area. Very, very impressed by his conversation. Todd, also a very good question from you. So let's see. Looks like he's jumped back on. Let's see if we can't get him back in.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, gotcha. I got you.
All right, so my question to you was, again, on a college level, some of these guys have said we're not going to play until we get some things in place to address, racial discrimination and also get us registered to vote, make sure we do vote. Have you had any of those kind of discussions with any of the young men in your program, or even some of the young ladies in the school itself?
Yes, we have had those discussions about what's going on socially. However, as far as with the protesting or deciding to sit out at this time, a lot of them, they really don't understand exactly to the full extent what's going on for them to be able to just really sit out and protest. But we are having those conversations as far as watching where you are, watching who you're around, and making sure that we're encouraging parents to have these conversations with their kids as well of how to stay safe, in these times. Because like I said, it's just the evil that's kind of out there, and whether you can say it's a black and white thing or whatever, it's just evil when it comes down to the end of it. And evil's in both places, in black, white, Hispanic, whatever. So you have to be careful in watching all areas and what you're doing and who you're around and all those things like that.
I got you. Now, Coach, do y'all have some 18-year-olds that need to get registered to vote? Do y'all have a voter registration initiative there in your program?
We definitely do, and I can tell you that because of what's going on and the information they're receiving, they are excited to be able to vote. This is one of those years that I've actually heard kids voice an opinion about voting and how excited they are, And like I said, I've been in this thing for 14 years and never seen the type of excitement that I'm seeing right now, which is a good thing and a good sign, because they're learning, what it's going to take in order for them to have their voices heard. And like I tell them all the time, it's one thing to go and vote for somebody and let them be your voice. But if they're going to be your voice, make sure that you kind of keep them to those standards that you want for them to have, and representing you, So don't just go put somebody in there and then just leave it alone, enforce it,
Yeah. No, Coach, that's good stuff. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. One more segment with Coach LaMarcus Franklin. He's a varsity coach over at Liberty-Eylau up in Texarkana. And we appreciate you making time for us. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back right after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
Let me make sure. I thought I had this Do Not Disturb on.
I'm going to tell you how you can get real health insurance for as little as $6 a day. Yes, now you can get affordable health insurance for you and your family immediately, starting at just $6 a day. And coverage is guaranteed regardless of your medical condition. That's right, for about $6 a day, you can have guaranteed health insurance. And there's dental, vision, and prescription coverage too. You owe it to yourself and your family to make this free call right now and learn more. There are no deductibles, no waiting period, no contracts, and coverage is guaranteed. Call National Health right now for your risk-free guaranteed health insurance quote starting at just $6 a day. Call now.
800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. That's 800.
Yeah, I believe I got it set now.
0921. Paid for by Go Health.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares for your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
You're home. You're a diabetic. You need supplies, but you don't want to
visit
the pharmacy. Man. What do you do?
Appreciate it.
Home delivery of your supplies. If you have diabetes and you're worried about going to a crowded pharmacy, pick up the phone in the safety and comfort of your home and let U.S. Med deliver them to you with free shipping. And now if you test your blood
oh man, she's killing me with that.
You make
yeah, man, golly.
There's gonna be a bunch of folks at your Liberty-Eylau games or something.
Man, I'm trying to focus on winning.
Smarter diabetes decisions. Plus, we'll send you a supply and bill your insurance.
Michelle did that to you.
Some peace of
mind. I got something for her.
U.S. Med.
800-417-0851. 800-417-0851. That's 800-417-0851.
Hey, what's up? This your boy James Fortune, and you are listening to The Lunch Break. Keep it locked.
All right, y'all. We're back here on The Lunch Break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones, man, having a great time with Coach LaMarcus Franklin of Liberty-Eylau up in the Texarkana area, man. I tell you what, folks have been, I'm not going to lie, I could show you a list of text messages that I got saying, yo, what's up with your guest? Is he single? What's up with your guest? Yo, Dre, hook me up. And it was I didn't say a word. But sure enough, it was your fam, bro. It was your people from Texarkana that threw you under the bus. El Michelle posted on Facebook with a bunch of red exclamation points. He is single.
I got something for you, El Michelle. I got something for you.
Man, I was trying to cover you. I know you focused on the season, dog. You trying to win some games.
Yes, but that's all I'm trying to do. But it's all good. I got to find me somebody to be in my life, so it's good.
Well, brother, I got news for you. You're going to have a bunch of candidates after this show.
All right. Man.
Oh, man. But no, Coach, so we were talking before the break about, the young people being excited about, wanting to be a part of the political process and voting and what have you. And you said you've been doing this for 14 years and you've never seen this level of excitement. How does it make you feel as a coach and as a mentor and as, somebody who's significant in these young people's lives to see them take a serious interest in what's going on? Not only that, but want to do something about it.
It means a lot for many reasons. But for one is because, like I told you earlier, I'm very active in the community. Yeah. And I've always been that way, even when I was playing sports, even in high school. Always concerned about things that's going on in the community, because if the community ain't right, then all this other stuff we got going on don't matter.
Nothing else matters.
And so to see them take an interest in it and have an understanding of it and to do things in a decent and orderly fashion the way that they are, it's just been lovely and great. And it says that, there's hope for our future. For a while, we always just say this is Generation X and all these different things like that. But I can tell you, I take my hats off to them. And, I stand behind them 100% because they really are doing things in the correct way and they're addressing issues the way they need to. And this generation is not afraid.
Yeah.
They're not afraid. And that's a good thing.
Right. And that's funny you say that, because the one sign that stands out, and a lot of them do, but the one that stands out the most for me was a young man at a protest said, I can't say the word that they said, but you basically messed with the last generation.
That's right.
That right there is what this generation is about. They're not going to take it like some other folks did. I'm not saying they do, but it's not going to go down the same way. Hold on a second. We got another phone call. I sure hope this ain't a wannabe. Hello, you know, who is this? Hello? I scared them off now.
Yeah.
I ain't mean to do that. I'm just trying to look out for you,
scaring
man.
out my potentials, man.
I ain't mean to do that. I'm trying to look out for you, man, because I'm telling you, El Michelle put you out there a little too rough, bro. She just threw in there.
I got you.
Oh, but anyway, so I hear what you're saying there. Let's shift gears one more time. We got some NFL football going on tonight. First game would be the Houston Texans against the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Now, you are a coach, and they didn't have preseason games. They had different training camp than what they normally have. They didn't have rookie camp. They didn't have OTAs and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What should we expect, or what should we not expect tonight in tonight's game?
I think you're going to have two well-coached groups that's going to be playing tonight. A lot of veterans on both sides. And I think that with them having the time off that they've had in order to keep their bodies, healthy and strong and ready to go without the injuries, it should be some exciting things that happen tonight. Of course, there's going to probably be some mishaps on the field, and there are going to be some blown assignments and all those things, but that's normal. But I think it's going to be pretty good. I'm ready to see Patrick Mahomes kind of get back there and do his thing, and I want to see how he fares up against my guy, Watson. I think these two teams matched up well last year, but I believe Watson was either injured when they got to the playoffs or something of that nature. So we never got to see, what would have happened if Houston had their real quarterback in there. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I am too. One of the things I heard another caller bring up, and I thought it was a very good comment on another show, and I give credit where credit is due. This caller said the matchup that folks are not talking about is not so much Watson and Mahomes or Travis Kelce in the secondary or those kind of things, but it's Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy against Anthony Weaver, a rookie defensive coordinator against a superior level offensive coordinators.
Right.
What do you think about that matchup tonight?
Man, it's going to be great. Both of those guys are real good in what they do, and I got mad respect for both of them. However, I think, like I said, it just comes down to the players executing.
Yeah.
Both of them are going to call good games. They got good game plans going in. I know they do. They're always prepared. It just comes down to a point of execution, and who wants it the most. So hats off to those guys and good luck tonight.
Yeah, Coach, before we shut down, you're a quarterbacks coach, special teams coach. Talk about the relationship with you and your quarterback and some of the things that you try to get them to focus on as a quarterbacks coach. Because I think a lot of people just think, that they get out there and they just doing this, that, and the other and all this different stuff. But as a quarterbacks coach, what are you trying to get them to focus on, pay attention to?
My main thing is about leadership, with them watching how they carry themselves and the qualities that they need in order to be a leader, because we all know the quarterback is the leader of the whole squad. Everything runs through him, and whatever he says, the team going to follow him. So you have to make sure that you're one of those people that people like to follow.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be one of those people that they respect, and it all goes in how you handle yourself and how you go about preparing yourself, for the games. And so those are the things that we do, and I harp on them a lot. They're young guys, so they're still a little wild. They want to get out and think they can stay up late at night and do different things. And so now it's getting to the point to where I'm having to put them on time schedules and, those things like that. And also make sure they're eating healthy and all that. So they don't like that part, but they do respect it and they love it when the results start falling, So those are things we kind of focus in on.
Do you have some guys that are going to get a look from, some college programs? You have some guys that you're grooming for that next level?
Most definitely. We're grooming one now as a sophomore. Our starting quarterback is a sophomore. And he came fresh off the freshman squad last year, right into a varsity starting role, which he earned. He had to fight through two seniors to get the spot. And so he's done a great job and going to continue to do a great job. And one of our backups, Ian Jones, he's going to be just a great player, and he's going to be one to watch this year. He's just an athlete.
Okay.
He can play all over the field. So I'm just excited, for those guys and just the opportunity they have. And as long as they take care of their business and be respectful about it and be humble, then I think sky's the limit for them.
Yeah, man, you're going to have me keeping an eye on Liberty-Eylau now, man.
You got to. Now you're
going to have me checking y'all out on the real. So
I'm going to tell you like this, man. God going to ask you 3 questions when you get there. He's going to say, did you believe in Jesus Christ? He's going to ask you, did you have a relationship with him and all those things? And then thirdly, he's going to ask you, did you believe in Liberty-Eylau and did you watch him? You know, and if you didn't do that, man, you might not get into heaven. So I just thought I'd give you that for free, man, to you. Because Eylau is where it's at, baby.
What's tripped out is I had leaned into you. I was listening. I said, come on here, man. You better come on and preach. That dude got me right to the pearly gates.
I'm trying to get you in there, baby.
Liberty-Eylau.
I'm trying to get you in the gates, not to it, in it.
Coach, I love your spirit, man. I love your spirit.
You. Love yours as well.
Put out there that you were an Omega, and I ain't gonna hold that against you because these
Omega Psi Phi to the day I die.
Yeah, I know this was busy. I know they were busy. I know you couldn't quite get in because it was standing room only.
Yeah, you didn't know no better.
Trust me when I say if you couldn't get in this, you got in the next best thing, boy. You got in.
I hear you, man. I respect that from where you're coming from, but I got a lot of great Kappa men that are in my family, and they try to persuade me that way. But you know, hey, man, I'm just a dog at heart, man. I grew up like that, you know.
Bro, let me tell you something. You gonna have a whole section with all they're gonna have is billboards of your face.
It's all good, man.
Coach, tell everybody where they can find you and follow you on social media and how they can keep up with all the great work you're doing out there at Liberty-Eylau.
All right, well, I'm just on, Facebook, LaMarcus Franklin. If you go to Instagram, I'm the Coach DA and then _/ and then Coach. So I'm there. I'm on YouTube channels. It's pretty much, I'm just plain and simple, man. My name, you type it in, you can find me.
Absolutely.
Like I said, also with
out there too.
Say that again.
I said I know you got some sermons out there too.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of them. You can go to the Greater Heights Ministries, on Facebook, and you can check out, a lot of our things that we have there. Donovan is my pastor, so I'm on his page a lot too. So, hey, just get on there and check it out, and hopefully you enjoy what you hear.
Man, Coach, you're amazing, brother. We appreciate you. Be safe out there. Who y'all got tomorrow night?
We're playing Jefferson. I know you probably heard about Jefferson, Texas. They're one of those traditional powerhouses. So we're going to travel down into their house, man, and, do our thing. And hopefully we don't beat them too bad, man. Leave them with some dignity and pride down there in Jefferson, so they invite us back.
Coach, I love it, man. I'm wishing you much success out there. Thanks for being a part of the lunch break today. We're going to have you back, okay?
I'll definitely be glad to. Hey, man, thank you for what you're doing, you and your staff there, and just bringing awareness on different things. And I'm definitely a fan, man. I'm listening to what you're doing, and just keep up the good work, brother. Keep it up.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate that encouragement. It's hard out here, man, but we're determined. We're committed to it.
You're a Kappa, man. You can handle it. Don't worry about it.
There you go. Now. All right, Coach, we'll talk to you again soon, okay?
All right, baby.
All right, y'all, man. That's all right. Coach Franklin, great job up there at Liberty-Eylau. Y'all give him a follow on Facebook. And again, he gave you his information for Instagram. And we got to get ready to hear some Sybil Wilkes. So y'all stay right there. Stay right there. I got to give. There we go. All right. Hang on. Let me get her squared away. Sybil, you start talking. I don't even be ready for you to talk. So let me get her squared away. And then we'll talk a lot about what Coach had to say and all of that good stuff after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
Eligible for a federal stimulus check but have yet to claim the relief payment. Individuals will have until October 15th to register for IRS.gov's non-filer tool to receive their payments by the end of this year. Researchers at AstraZeneca, who are in the late-stage studies of its COVID-19 vaccine, are pausing the study after a shot recipient's potentially unexplained illness. AstraZeneca did not reveal any information about the possible side effects. Last month, the pharmaceutical company began recruiting 30,000 people in the United States for its study of the COVID-19 vaccine. As Halloween approaches, health officials in Los Angeles County are prohibiting door-to-door trick-or-treating due to the risk of spreading the coronavirus. Carnivals, festivals, haunted houses, and trick-or-treating events where children trick or treat from cars are also not allowed. Please visit SybilWilkes.com to subscribe to my free daily newsletter. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, man. I tell you, until Sybil Wilkes said something about Halloween and people doing what they do. I didn't even think about that. But y'all be careful out there. Again, it's not business as usual. That's all I'll say. It is not business as usual. So y'all please be careful out there. All right. Great guest with Coach LaMarcus Franklin. Great guest. And I got to tell y'all, lunch breakers, y'all single women on the lunch break, y'all all in punishment. Y'all all in timeout. Every one of y'all is on punishment in timeout. All of y'all. Y'all cut up. I cannot believe. I saw some of y'all's comments behind the scenes. And El Michelle, you go to punishment first. You go in timeout first. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. CJ, Monique Mosley, Karen Gibson, all y'all. All y'all. Dallas McGaffey, all of y'all. Timeout. Timeout. I've never in my life been so embarrassed. Y'all all in trouble. Y'all better be glad I got another hour on this show, because I'll tell y'all. Yeah, she in it too. Yeah, you Monique Mosley, you in it too. Guilt by association. My mama said if one person did it, everybody did it. Especially if we wouldn't tell her who did it. All right, well then all y'all get in there. Yes, ma'am. I'm surprised that y'all just look. Let me tell y'all a little bit more about Miles College. Can we talk a little bit more about Miles College? I didn't finish telling y'all about Miles College. That's our HBCU that we are repping today. Miles College in Fairfield, Alabama, established in 1898. They are in NCAA's Division II. They're a part of the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, and they are known as the Golden Bears. The Golden Bears. If you want more information about Miles College, who I'm representing today, you go to www.miles.edu. Miles.edu. They say we stay up late, but we graduate. So there you go. I enjoyed their band when they came for the Battle of the Bands back in last year. But the rest of y'all go in timeout. Go in timeout. All right, so Dr. Aki, if you're still out there, Dr. Aki, give me a call if you're still out there. 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. I want to talk about this deal with Daniel House and the Rockets getting ready for Game 4 of their playoff matchup with the LA Lakers tonight. That's going to be an early tip. Normally the Rockets and Lakers play at 8, but they're going to play at 6 tonight. There is not a second game. Remember that Miami already eliminated Milwaukee, so there's not a second game tonight. They moved that one up so we can get ready for some football in the evening at 7:20 when the Texans take on the other team.
KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers, who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
Field today. Ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! Let's go to the house! Let's go to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready? Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, I love we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from that. He's a man. They can be hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You had no work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready? Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
All right, y'all. That's game is not over. That's just the first hour on the books. Second hour underway right here on the legendary KYOK. I'm AJ Jones, and I tell you what, man, I really enjoyed having Coach on, LaMarcus Franklin. Got to have him back because I definitely want to talk with him about some of the situations with black head coaches not getting jobs that they are definitely qualified for. Want to get into some of those discussions. Again, him doing what he's doing over on the high school level, done it in the Arena League. And, to me, hey, he's another one of those brothers that is as qualified as the head coach of Arizona, as qualified as the head coach for the New York Giants. I just, don't get me started. I already got a lot on my mind today, so I don't want to even get into that today. But, man, I tell you what, the NFL, and you're going to see it tonight, the NFL can make as much of a big deal about Black Lives Matter. They can paint it all over the building. I mean, Roger Goodell could come out in a Black Lives Matter dashiki with fighting the power. He could have a pick in the back of his head, red, black, and green, with a fight the power fist on it. None of it will matter. None of it will matter until it translates into every area of the organization. If you're not hiring qualified black head coaches, if you're not hiring qualified general managers, if you don't have black qualified vice presidents of football operations and other things, then you're just talking. You're just painting the field for nothing. You're just wasting time with the Negro National Anthem. And, the event last night, all right, okay, we are the world. We are the children. We are the, ones who make a brighter day for you and me. It's not going to change by events and slogans. It's not going to change by doing montages. Now's the time to put in the work. Just like they jumped on the Washington football team about sexual harassment and about, what they're doing with the cheerleaders and all these other things that they're doing. Jump on organizations for being racially biased. Do that. Put something in your bylaws that make that punishable and actionable. And then on the other side of it, put a legitimate plan in. Again, the Rooney Rule was something to make an attempt. I really believe that Mr. Rooney had the best of intentions with the Rooney Rule. But when you've got ill-willed people, they're going to find a way to exploit it. As soon as somebody said, you're not going to tell me who to hire, you're not going to tell me what to do, then it became a problem. People could have went along with the Rooney Rule. People could have abided by the letter of the Rooney Rule, and it might have worked. It might have made a difference. But somebody decided, I'm going to circumvent it. And when somebody decided they were going to circumvent it, other people decided, well, I'm going to do what they did. And now it's no longer of value. I don't want to hear a song tonight. I don't want to see Black Lives Matter in the end zone. The end zone is not killing black people. The goalpost, if you put Black Lives Matter up and down the little yellow thing on it, I ain't seen a black person get killed by a goalpost yet. The referees, none of that. Put something in place that's going to bring about meaningful change. Roger Goodell stopped doing hostage videos. And that's exactly what the initial video looked like. Stop doing hostage videos and call the president and say, listen, you call me for everything under the sun. Let me call you and say, can you put some meaningful crime reform in place or prison reform in place? Don't just sign an empty folder and hold it up like you've done something. Put something meaningful in place. Call Mitch McConnell. Call Lindsey Graham. Call your constituents and say, hey, it's time. We get the phone line. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
AJ, it's Todd again.
Hey, Todd again.
So I wanted to come up a couple points you just brought up. No, I'm with you, man. I've been wondering about this for a long time, ever since Colin Kaepernick kneeled, right? And I remember you and I talked, this maybe a few months ago, we were talking about like the education differences like in the inner city versus out in the suburbs, right?
Yep.
So, and I remember David Grubbs a couple months back that he was kind of over, it wasn't a couple months, it was like right after the bubble started with the NBA.
Yep.
He was kind of over just the symbolic messages. And that's the thing I've been, waiting for is like, what is the plan and who is the leader of putting that plan together? Are we expecting the president? Are we expecting someone that's in the Black Lives Matter movement to say, let's just take the education discrepancies, right?
Yeah.
What is the plan? Let's just take this as an example. What is the plan to get everyone on an equal playing field that are in, let's say you took in Houston, school district around, a school around Houston that doesn't have enough funds compared to like a Katy, right?
Yep.
What is the plan to get the kids maybe in the inner city some of the same resources the kids in Katy got or Sugar Land or something like that, for example?
Yeah, so as you know, there's a TEA, Texas Education Agency, that regulates a lot of that, and then the governor, lieutenant governor, all have very strong say in what the TEA does. So obviously, you've got to do something at a state and a local level, but those three groups, the governor, the lieutenant governor, and the TEA, are in love with the president. So if you can get the president to say, stop it, stop cutting funds for schools, which ultimately always falls on the schools that need to have their funds cut the least. Katy has ways to get funds that it's unimaginable. I mean, they always get the money. The schools over in River Oaks, they always get the money. Schools over in Cy-Fair, they always get the money. What's that one where Jerry Jones's grandson went to school? They always get the money.
Yeah, Highland Park.
Park, they always get the money. But when you have it from the top down, that not only are we not going to cut funding, but you're definitely not going to cut it in the inner city. You're definitely not going to cut it where they're disadvantaged. You're definitely not going to cut it in these communities because they have suffered from your cuts already. And Todd, hold that thought. I got to take this break. I want to come back and I want to finish those thoughts. Good questions from Todd right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
Spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who've helped people that have been injured or wronged. Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Are you one of the millions who have taken Zantac or other generic versions of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of this popular drug. They've banned sales and even removed it from the market. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the legal helpline now. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. And there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. So please call now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Hey, what's up? This your boy James Fortune, and you are listening to The Lunch Break. Keep it locked.
All right, y'all, we're back here on The Lunch Break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Throwback Thursday. I got Todd back on the line with me. Appreciate you calling back in, Todd. Somebody brought up something key online. Sydney Brown said, where's the lottery money? I know that was the way it was marketed when it first came out. And Karen Gibson, very good answer, said they find ways to divert that money and no one demands an accounting. Those are the kind of things that on a state level, they got to quit playing games with. They got to quit playing games because the people that get affected are the ones over there at North Shore and over at Wheatley and over at JY. You know, again, Katie, if they decide they want to pass a bond to do this or do that, they're going to vote for that and they're going to put that money up and then they will get redirected funds from this and from that and from the other. Why? Because they've got those kind of representatives because Katy is a booming area, and with gerrymandering, they've got more representation than we've got over in the inner cities of Third Ward and South Houston.
Got it. Okay. I mean, so going back to what we were talking about, I guess that's what, and I've heard a lot of people mention this, is just like, what is the plan, and who is kind of leading the charge of that plan of like if we're relying on the president, I think we're going to be waiting a long time.
No, I agree. I agree. That ship has sailed.
It's sailed. I guess what I've been waiting for, kind of just watching everything, is like I've been waiting for like for the longest. I thought it may be Cap, but Cap he doesn't do interviews. He's not really out there in the spotlight, if that makes sense. He's doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, right? But like, let's just take police reform. Who has an idea of that's in that movement of like, hey, this is what we think would be a good idea. Let's just take police training. So that's I'm kind of what David said a few weeks back. Is like, I'm not saying I'm over the symbolic, but I was like, give me the symbolic with the plan. And if it doesn't work, let's try something else, right?
Yeah, no, and I'm in agreement with all of that. I think part of it is, the one thing I will agree with Roger Goodell on, you didn't take it serious enough when you should have.
Yeah.
And now you made a reactionary decision by just grabbing Jay-Z and putting him over this initiative. And with all due respect to Jay-Z, he didn't do the right thing either, because he didn't sit down with the people who started the initiative, who literally were the boots on the ground, as my brother Garrett Jones likes to say, and try and get some unity. I promise you, what Jay-Z is going through is not the same thing that Colin is going through. It's not the same thing that Eric Reed is going through. It's not the same thing that these guys are going through. So you can't have one guy, to answer your question about the leadership, you can't have one person be the leader for something that they might not have experienced like everybody else. A good leader gets in there, rolls up his or her sleeves, and gets the facts and the information and the input, and then gets the right people together to develop a plan, and then gets the right people together to make sure that the plan gets initiated, executed, and fulfilled without it getting derailed. And oh yeah, by the way, runs interference against those that try to derail the plan. And I'm sorry, Jay-Z can't do that by himself.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. If you look at the NBA, has the NBA have to? I saw something a while back. Didn't the NBA, weren't they able to get their arenas or something open where people could vote?
Yeah, so most of them. The initial report was all of them. The reality is most of them have been turned into voting hubs, voting centers in their respective communities. And because most communities now don't require you to have to go to your precinct anymore, you can go to a voting center and vote. So now that should take away what we see in Georgia far too often, where polling places have been minimized, and then you've got problems with the polling booths. So you've got, multiple hours wait. I mean, I think there was one case where a man waited in line 12 hours or something ridiculous like that.
Yep.
So this takes away some of those shenanigans that people were trying to play behind the scenes of trying to make it difficult and suppress the vote. So again, it's a step. I'm not going to seem ungrateful. I'm not going to seem like I don't think it will do, but it by itself is not enough. And I'm glad to see the NBA do that. Now, next, we got to get some other things done. And, these owners got to be collective and use their voice and use their influence and use their power to get some of these things done.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's what I'm talking about, seeing some change. Like, I know that's maybe a small thing on the voting.
But no, it's significant. It's a significant change. I agree with that.
Yeah, but you know what? But we saw something, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I was saying, that with the NBA, you have the symbolic gesture, what we're seeing on TV, but we also saw some action behind it. You know what I mean? And that's the part I've been waiting for a long time. And this, I haven't seen much change. I'm seeing more symbolic, but nothing after that. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
I just hope we see, more of that. Real quick, going back to education, my kids are doing virtual learning from home. And if you have kids in communities where, both parents work, or if it's in a community where there's a lot of single parent households and the mom's always at work, those kids, it's been a challenge for my wife and I trying to get my kids up to speed.
Yeah, and let me tell you what I love that, on a community level that people are doing, and I know some of the athletes are putting money behind this in churches. They have made those learning centers because you've already got internet there. You've had athletes donate computers so that every kid that comes has a computer, and then they've also donated money so that there's lunch, there's food, there's snacks and what have you. And then this is the interesting thing that I found out is they also donated money so that there are people there to help assist them in the learning process. So it's not just, some pastor or deacon or somebody running around. They have actual educators in these learning centers that are helping, these kids so that the parents can go to work, or even if the parents, don't need to go to work, maybe they're not, as up to speed or comfortable, teaching their kid through this process. They have a place where they can take their kids and they can get a good, comfortable lesson.
It's where my son is in 4th grade, and you think that would be easy material. But when you haven't done something for a long time, some of this stuff, you just don't get it. You know what I mean?
And Todd, I got 2 degrees in math, and people say, oh, can you help me with my math, or can you help me with my daughter with her math? And I'm like, yeah, but what I need first, I need the book, or I need you to send me the chapter that they're working on, because I've got to get familiar with it again. And I've got to look at the way that they're trying to present it so that I can help that young person get it. But it doesn't just stay with you forever. I can't just start, popping out the Pythagorean theorem, like it was yesterday.
Yeah, no, I agree. So one thing I'll mention about the NFL, I was listening to a radio show this morning that I listen to every day. And do you think the NFL has done a bad job of promoting the season? Like, I didn't even know until really this morning that the season started today. Like, it didn't, I haven't felt like the NFL has done a good job of promoting the regular season. I don't know if it's kind of been that way because there's been no regular season, but the guy on the show was like, a lot of people didn't even know the NFL started today.
Yeah, and you know what? And I get it, and I appreciate who the person was that brought it up. The NFL has been, they thought they had it figured out. They didn't have it figured out. They thought this was going to work. They did. They are still in a very tenuous position. They don't know what's going to happen after tonight, after tomorrow, after this weekend. They don't know. And they're looking at what's happening in college because they're kind of, that model is more like what they're doing right now than what the NBA is doing. They're not going to go in a bubble. They're talking about doing a playoff bubble. But, you got to understand, they're just trying to, they probably shouldn't have over promoted, and then have something happen. And then now they got to walk all that back. I think they did about what they needed to do. It's here, it's now, and we'll go from here.
One last thing, I'll let you run.
Wait, Todd, hold on. I gotta do one quick commercial. So hang on a second.
Legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Two radio stations in one.
Now is a great time to replace your worn-out windows during the Renewal by Andersen 25-year savings event. Upgrade your home today. Buy 4 windows and get the 5th one free. Plus, get 12 months with no interest, no money down, and no payments. Call now. Get 4 windows and get the 5th one free. Installation and warranty included. Renewal by Andersen takes every CDC-recommended safety precaution to protect your family. For 25 years, people have trusted us for their window replacement needs, and you can too. Call now to learn about our buy 4, get the 5th one free window replacement offer.
800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. 800-245-1537. That's 800-245-1537.
Interest accrues from date of purchase, but is waived if paid in full within 12 months. Other conditions apply. We've adjusted our operations to serve you safely following all CDC guidelines. Visit renewalbyandersen.com for details.
Hey, what's going on? This is Lecrae, and right now you're listening to The Lunch Break.
All right, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Throwback Thursday. And let me go back to the phone line. Todd, you said you had one more thing you wanted to drop on me. Sorry about that. Had to get the Renewal by Andersen bill paid.
So I had this idea for you. You know, in the past, we've talked about the NBA and maybe the players eventually maybe starting their own league. We heard like some rumblings of that.
Yep.
Let me throw this model to you that I thought of and tell me what you think. I think this bubble idea could eventually come back to bite the NBA. Let me tell you why, okay? You basically already created a model that the players could take to TV networks and not even need arenas for every home team, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Let's say you got the spot in Orlando, right?
Yep.
Let's say you find another spot in like Las Vegas that got all these gyms in one spot, right?
Yep.
And you basically say, you know what? We're not going to have arenas in this new league, right? Like we normally would have where you have 20,000 seat arenas.
Oh,
okay?
yeah, I got you.
So, because trying to do it that way, you're not going to be able to build all these arenas all across the country, right?
Yep.
Taxpayers, you're not going to get that approved when you got another arena in town.
Yep.
And you got to find, another billionaire owner to build the arena. That's not likely.
You just got to rent that space out.
Just got to rent the space or just build the gym, right?
Yep. Just
build a multi-gym facility. So, and you would have it in locations these players would want to live, right?
Yep.
So, L.A., Vegas, Florida, and basically you could have multiple teams in the same city, and you would have more players that would rather, like a lot of NBA players in the off season live in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
Or somewhere in California. So I think these players could say, you know what? Let's take our buying power as players. We'll go to the TV network direct and get the TV contract and basically just say, there's a ton of fans out there that don't even care about going to the game, right?
Right.
And so I think that model that the NBA created, I promise you, LeBron and a whole bunch of guys said, you know what? Man, they just already gave us the blueprint of how we could do this on our own.
Absolutely. And you know what? Let me add to that. There's a network out there that people are really taking lightly, and they've got the money to throw a huge TV deal at a player-sponsored or player-generated league. It's called Amazon. There are very few TV networks out there that have as much money as Amazon. And Amazon could take its TV umbrella, if you will, to a whole nother level if they sponsor or get the exclusive rights to a league. And guess what? Again, we're not talking about traditional users. More people stream their sporting or their entertainment now than ever before. So you will be in the heart of your fan base, and you will drive the other networks to chase you down to get a piece of that pie.
And that's my point. That could put the NBA out of business, right? Think think of it like this: we got COVID going on, right? We have no end in sight of how long this is going to be going on.
No idea, especially given what we found out yesterday, that folks knew it was worse than it was and tried to downplay it. So we don't even know where we are right now.
So these 20,000 square feet arenas right now are meaningless.
Yep.
Because you can't even fill it, even if you wanted to, right?
Right.
So I haven't really thought through the whole plan of it, how you put together. Because if you do it, you're not going to have the traditional owner setup, right?
Right.
So I haven't thought of it as far as, how you would draft, how you would put teams together, things like that. But the model is, when I was talking to my friend about it, he was like, man, you're right. If the money's made off the TV contract, because he was concerned when I was talking to my buddy about it, he's like, well, you got to build all these arenas. It's like, no. You just take the same. Look how many teams have been able to play in Orlando. So you just take maybe 4 sites, right?
Yep.
So 2 on the West Coast, maybe 2 on the East Coast, maybe somewhere, Dallas, something like that. And you have maybe one in the Midwest, right? Chicago or something like that. That's the model right there. That you work out the other parts as far as drafting and things like that, but really get rid of the one owner or the majority owner per team concept. Get rid of that concept.
Todd, let me just tell you something, bro. I'm going to give you some credit. You have come a long way, man, because you were one of the ones who was just like, man, this is the way it is, AJ. This is the way it is. And to hear you thinking open-mindedly like this right here, I'm for real. I'm not joking. I'm not playing. I'm really, really, really impressed, and I'm proud of you, man. I really am, Todd.
Well, man, I'm a businessman. So when my friends started talking about it more, I was like, he posed a question like, well, Todd, how would you do it? And then it just hit me with the bubble. Like I said, we could be talking 2 or 3 years from now of what the downfall of the NBA was, and it could have been this bubble concept because the players have seen it work.
Right. And we got somebody on there telling us to be quiet. Please, first of all, no, let's not be quiet, because I want some folks to know that you're next. I want them to know that. Number 2, if you don't think that the LeBron Jameses and the Kyrie Irvings and the Michael Jordans of the world have thought about these concepts right here, we're underestimating these guys, and I'm real big on that. These guys are far beyond dumb jocks. It's a racist mentality, but from us on the side of that colorism, it's a short-sighted mentality. We really don't understand how LeBron James has built a billion-dollar empire outside of sports. Sports was the avenue. Sports was the roadmap, but he used those resources to build businesses outside of. Please, y'all. Come on, y'all. Stop. All right, man. Todd, you my brother for real, man.
Another thing, too, man. Make it the new league publicly traded. We can put stock into it.
I was gonna say that because on Facebook there is on Instagram there's something about a tackle football league with it's like flag football, but it's tackle, and they're asking for money. They're asking for micro investments, and I'm thinking to myself, imagine if we could have bought into the NFL from the beginning for a couple of $100.
Man, I'm telling you. You would have a ton of people get behind that. So, like I said, the NBA should be, like I said, I don't know the pulse of the players of how serious they are about doing that, because it looks like right now, when the players want to do something, they got to go up through the commissioner, right? You got to run it up that chain. And I'm not saying in a new league you wouldn't have some sort of hierarchy or board or something like that, right?
Yep.
But the players don't want the same model of Mark Cuban or Fertitta. I think they're tired of that, right? They want something that is. You still need something, some sort of hierarchy or something, but a different hierarchy where the players are on that seat as well, have a chair at that table as well. But I really think the NBA. And it's not really against the NBA. I think the NBA is limited maybe on really what reach, they can or can't have. So.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, Willie Gibson said, respectfully, I disagree with Todd. These guys don't want to be in the bubble right now. I don't know how they would voluntarily sign up for it. Also, 40% of the league revenue comes from live gates at the arenas. But see, again, Willie, and I love you, man. We got to stop thinking that that's the only way to get 40% of the revenue. When I used to sit down with Fortune 100 companies and I looked at their revenue stream and they gave me their objectives, they wanted to grow revenue by 12%. We had to look at what was their standard revenue stream, and then we had to find different ways for them to get revenue. And if we just keep trying to believe that the only way we're going to get money is from the gate, then guess what? We'll only get money from the gate. There are other ways to get money in the building, and we just got to look for them, man. You just got to look for them. You can't do the same thing over and over again and expect to get a different result. By the way, I just posted that the NFL or NBA has pushed back the start of their season to December. They're not going to start next season until after Christmas. So there's that. And again, the question will be, will they be back in the bubble or will they be in the different arenas? I got a feeling they're going to be right back where they are right now, and probably something similar to what you're talking about, Todd, where they'll have regional bubbles instead of one.
So let me answer what Willie said, right? When we get back to normal times, I'm not talking about the normal bubble concept. I'm just talking about having these regional sites.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, so where these guys can go home at night, if their regional site is in Las Vegas, right? You go home, then you come back to your site, you get tested before you go in, you go back home again, right?
Yep.
So to answer the 40% of what Willie's talking about, like I said, give it a stock option. People like me would invest in that
all day long. All day long.
And that is and you can still take on investors like you had. So, maybe a guy like LeBron that makes $40 million, maybe it's 35. I'm just kind of saying, but
right. No, I get you. I get what you're saying. But watch this. Let's even go deeper. Boxing has always been a sport where you want to get the biggest arena possible. You want to do that, and then they got introduced to what? Pay-per-view. Yeah. They make 3 times, 4 times the money on pay-per-view than they do on gate. They do, and that includes concessions, parking, whatever, merchandise, whatever. They make 3-4 times, and then we just found out that Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao drew a bigger number on pay-per-view than what it was thought before, and they've already gotten that money. So I think somebody said one of them made $200 million, the other one made $100 million. It could be closer to 3 and 4 based on the new numbers. So there's ways to get other revenue in. You just got to be smart enough to try it. You got to be smart enough to try. One of the things that when my son was at orientation at Stanford, in the middle of the orientation, they said, and oh yeah, by the way, if you have a unique business idea that you really believe can generate money or change the world, we literally recommend that you pursue that idea. What were they saying? You'd be better off focusing all your attention on that than to just come and go through the normal attrition through Stanford than to than be a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. They don't say that at TSU. They don't say that at Prairie View. They don't say that at Miles College. But look at the people that have come through Stanford and look at the things that they have accomplished, even if they didn't get a degree at Stanford.
And I think that's the issue with some schools. Like when I was in college, I felt like they were training me to work for somebody else, right? And my long-term goal was not to be an employee of somebody else. And I think the best education I had was being around people that taught me how to be self-employed.
Bruh, let me tell you. And Todd, I include you in this cultural conversation, not out of some type of, you my homeboy, but because you grew up in the culture. You were raised in the culture. We got to start changing the message and start freeing our children rather than moving them through school, moving them through college, and then moving them on somebody else's job.
Exactly.
We got to do it. We got to do it. And then now we're trying to teach them into trying to be entrepreneurs and businesses and building Black Wall Streets and Black communities that are self-sufficient. And it's really hard to do. You really got to help them unlearn everything that they were taught. And guess what? We were the ones teaching them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you go to a college, if you rack up a whole bunch of student loans, right? I mean, you get out of school, I mean, you're already so far behind in debt,
And listen, and the higher you go up the food chain, even more. You got law school students that come out with hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. You got doctors come out with hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. And again, nothing wrong with those professions, but let's just tell them the truth on what goes along with those things, especially given today's environment and economy.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. So I think that's the thing we're talking about. With the NBA, it's there's something liberating about doing something on your own, and sometimes it's not always financial. So if the NBA were to go away or be at 2 leagues, it doesn't mean that the new league has to pay as much to players. It may just be the reward is just having more of a say-so in what you're doing.
That or finding a different way to pay them and just salary. There's all kinds of ways, man. If somebody offered me a share of Apple right now or a share of Microsoft right now in return for some services, trust me when I say I'm in.
Well, I'll ask you one last basketball. Who do you got tonight with the Lakers and Rockets?
Lakers. The Rockets, for some reason, have they'll have to do something supernatural, especially given the nonsense going on with Daniel House and all that. It's a distraction. I have not seen the Rockets rise above stuff like this, and the Lakers are laser focused now, especially seeing what the Clippers did last night. The Lakers are I'm not going to say they're looking past the Rockets, but the Lakers don't want to spend all 7 games on the Rockets and have the Clippers sitting there waiting on them.
Yeah. When I watch the Clippers, man, and I love my Lakers, it's just like when the Clippers can really turn it on, that's why I've said from the get, I just see them winning it all if they stay injury-free. They just got so much depth. They can really play 9 or 10 guys. I'm hoping the Lakers could somehow figure out the way to win that series. But
yeah, I feel like the Lakers go up 3-1 tonight. I feel like the Rockets maybe get one more game, but I see I'm sticking with 4-2.
4-2?
Yeah.
What about the football game tonight?
I'm still going Kansas City because to me, again, I like what the other on another show said. The matchup that really we need to be talking about is Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy versus Anthony Weaver. I mean, you got a rookie defensive coordinator, and you've got 2 of some brilliant minds, creative minds. And then, man, Sean Jones, and I'm calling you out, Sean, and come for me if you want to. I really don't care. Sean Jones is brilliant, but he also is one of those brilliant guys that says dumb stuff because he's brilliant. Yeah. He said that the Kansas City Chiefs just line up and play and say, hey, here we are, we're better than you. And there's no creativity, and they're not going to do anything. They're not going to pull out a bag of tricks. And they're like, how many times have you watched Kansas City play? There are times when they'll pull out a play that you're like, oh, my God, that was just crazy. I mean, Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy are 2 of the most creative minds offensively in the game today. So I don't mean any disrespect. I mean, the guy has played the game, but I feel like that was one of those statements like when Stephen A. Smith said that Dwayne Haskins was a running quarterback, and Dwayne maybe ran like 2% of the time. I had a guy tried to tell me that the quarterback Justin Fields up in Ohio State wasn't an accurate quarterback. I looked at the number, and the dude had completed 73% of his passes. I'm just like, come on, y'all. Y'all ain't watching these games, and y'all are making statements as if you are, and you're not.
I remember when Stephen A. said that. That reminds me, okay, what did you think when Stephen A. talked about, I don't know if you heard this, when he was talking about the Steve Nash hire, right? And I saw a quote from Steve Nash yesterday that said, Steve Nash was like, I definitely skipped the line, right?
Yeah.
Basically I hadn't paid my dues like a Jacques Vaughn, right?
Yeah.
But when Stephen A. said it was white supremacy that got Steve Nash the job, then I remember Shannon Sharp saying, he didn't really agree with that because we've seen other black coaches that Derek Fisher, he brought up.
Jason Kidd.
Yeah, Jason Kidd, Isaiah.
Yep.
And maybe it was Doc Rivers. I think maybe in his 4th. Anyway,
Magic. Yeah.
Yeah. So Shannon was like, man, he didn't want to dilute the cause. You know what I mean? When Dak didn't really support that. Now, what I will agree maybe with Stephen A. is that what Byron Scott said. Byron Scott said, black coaches, we do get some opportunities, but we don't get a job like that.
Right.
for our first job. And I thought Byron was more spot on than Stephen A.
Right.
Byron was saying, we get a job usually with the franchises in trouble, struggling, rebuild, and we just got to make it work.
Yep.
Man, they gave Steve keys to the Cadillac, and we don't even know if he can draw a play up. I mean, he probably can from experience, but I don't understand why these franchises think playing and coaching is a correlation. It's not.
Yeah, I will agree on the, that is not so much a racial issue, especially given the fact that it was probably Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving that got Nash that gig. But, I've said it before, as black people, we got to be selective, even on that level in the jobs that we take. Bill Belichick was not selective, was not successful in Cleveland. You don't need to be running to Cleveland trying to build your reputation. Look what happened when Bill Belichick took over in New England. I'm just saying. So, I've never turned down an NFL head coaching job, but if I was there, I think I would, given what I've seen, I would be selective in how I take or chose NFL coaching job. NBA, same thing.
I think Byron's coming to the standpoint, he was coaching the Nets for 2 finals, right?
Yeah.
And the next 2 head coaching jobs he gets, maybe 3, because he was the Hornets coach for a while. Anyway, he was the Cavs coach when they were terrible. Right. They were trying to go through a rebuild. And then he got the Lakers job when they were terrible, right? So Byron Scott, I thought, was more spot on from that. But I don't know why they didn't give. Here's what I thought was insulting to Jacques Vaughn, right? They're like, we don't want to make you the head coach, but we want to keep you on as the lead assistant.
Yeah, that right there. Yeah, that. Again, Todd, I'm trying to be nice today, man, because I made the mistake of having a counseling session this morning, and don't ever do that. Don't ever do a counseling session before you got to come and do a show, because I'm really just going through the motions. I'm so grateful for you and Coach Franklin, because y'all carrying it, because my mind is everywhere but here. I'm trying to be nice. Jacques Vaughn got mistreated. There's a commercial out right now where a guy is standing on the corner and he's saying, I'm not gonna give you a raise this time, or I'm not gonna promote you this time. Cool. And then the lady pulls up in the car and says, get in. And then she talks about settling. That's what Jacques Vaughn did. And I know it's what he wanted to do, but they could have treated Jacques Vaughn better. He deserves better.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense to me, man. I'm trying to think of an analogy how insulting it is, he was coaching in the bubble, and I thought did a good job, and then and Jacques has put his time in, right? And then you're going to bring in a guy that has never coached at any level.
Right.
But say, we still want to keep you on, though, but, man, we're going to make you the lead assistant. That'd be tough, man. I mean,
yeah, man, I'm trying to tell you, I ain't going to lie. I'd probably cuss. I probably would cuss. And I'm not going to do it on this show, but I probably would. I'm just telling you the truth. Now, I'm just going to tell the truth on myself. But, yeah, you asked me to do that. I'll probably, yeah. Todd, let me go. I done disrespected somebody on the other line, man. I'll talk with you later, Todd.
Thanks, AJ.
All right, good call as always. Let me take a quick break. We'll come back. Caller, please forgive me. Please forgive me. And then I got to tell y'all about the lunch break Keeping Up with the Joneses challenge for tonight. We'll do that next right here on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
Two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything, it shall be done for them by my Father who is in heaven. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. Matthew 18:19 and 20. And we're KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
You're home. You're a diabetic. You need supplies, but you don't want to visit the pharmacy. What do? Call US Med for home delivery of your supplies. If you have diabetes and you're worried about going to a crowded pharmacy, pick up the phone in the safety and comfort of your home and let US Med deliver them to you with free shipping. And now if you test your blood sugar 4 more times a day and inject insulin 3 or more times a day, you may qualify to get a new continuous glucose monitor at little or no cost, which may eliminate the pain of pricking your fingers and helps you make smarter diabetes decisions. Plus, we'll send you a 90-day supply and bill your insurance company for you. Get some peace of mind. Call US Med today.
800-417-0851. 800-417-0851. That's 800-417-0851.
We want to go back to the old school for a minute. Hand clapping it.
This is TJ from South Park. I listen to the lunch break with AJ Jones on 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, y'all, we're back on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Throwback Thursday, and let me go to the phone line, see if this person is still there. I've been so rude to them. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Hey, Jay, what's up, bro? It's Keith.
Keith, I'm so sorry, brother. I am so sorry.
No, you're good, man.
No,
you're good,
man.
bro. It's
No,
all
especially
good, man. That was a great conversation you and Todd was having.
Listen, and especially because it was you, man. If it was anybody else, I wouldn't be as sorry. But because it's you, my brother, I'm even more sorry than I was before.
No, you're good, man. I appreciate it. Listen, I'll give these quick little points, man, that then you get out of your way. Did you get my text message, by the way?
I didn't. What'd you say? No, don't tell me what you said. But no, I didn't get a message from you.
Okay. I'm in here in a little bit. I got the right number. But anyway, man, let me, I missed like the first 30 minutes of your show and jumped on. And I heard the coach, outstanding job with him, man. I don't know where you found that young man, but he sounds like a great guy and somebody who's doing great work. And like always, you continue to do phenomenal work in promoting and bringing up issues that are prevalent to our community, and then more importantly, that highlight some of the best and the brightest in our in the sports industry. And so, thank you for always doing that, man, and thank you for always being a platform for which people can have a voice, and so and you're not biased, and you're not and you're certainly open to having dialogue, man. So I take my hat off to you, as I tell you all the time. But I want to real quickly, if I can, absolutely. I want to quickly highlight something that took place on yesterday, or was revealed on yesterday, and I'm pretty sure you talked about it, but I don't know if everybody understands the magnitude of what the leader of this free country did over the last few months that has caused so much death. And I say that outright. I can't even begin to explain the level of frustration I have with people who continue to try to make excuses and or apologize in light of this foolishness, right? Yeah. And I'll just encourage everyone who has an opportunity to please use November 3rd as an opportunity to use your voice. We talk often about how we want players to do this and players to do this and players to do this, and the conversations that you and Todd were having were phenomenal. But I think it's important. This is a prime opportunity. This is a season in which, not just for voting rights, right, but this is a prime opportunity for every single one of your listeners, every single individual. If you work in the factory, I don't care if you sweep streets, I don't care if you're a garbage man, I don't care if you're a librarian. Man, you need to be making a difference. And you make a difference by changing the way you spend your dollars, who you spend your dollars with, and quit. And if you're on social media, quit following people and being around or having people in your groups that don't support the things that support a change. And let me just be very careful when I say this. And I know this is going to hurt some feelings, but this is the facts, bro. Everything that's black ain't black.
Right.
There are some people, yes, there are some people who don't look like you and I, but have our best interests at heart. And you just got to be careful and support the things that people are, that are important to you and important to your family, man. Because right now, what this guy did, man, it's atrocious. And for anyone to say, oh, well, we're just going to support him, or he didn't mean this. It was clear what he meant. It was clear what he meant. This man lied to this country. If ever in the history of our country, if there was a person who should be prosecuted for the amount of death that he has caused as a result of not taking action. I know this is not a political show, but I'm just saying, man, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
Yeah, Keith, all I can tell you is when I heard that yesterday, man, it took my breath away because as a pastor, I'll do it this way. For the month of June, we had 5 funerals. We had 5 funerals for the month of June. And I'm not saying that those funerals would not have happened. Right. But what I'm saying is they deserved to know the truth and the brevity and the weight of what we were dealing with. And they may have handled themselves a little bit differently than if they were told it's no big deal. Don't worry about this. It'll just go away soon. All we got to do is this. We're ready for it. We're prepared for it. When the reality was we were not. And I usually don't get on the political side of it, especially when it comes. I respect the office of president. Just like I tell people, you might not like me as a man, but at least respect the office of pastor. And that right there, man, when you're at the highest top, you've got a responsibility to make sure that you prepare the people that you're leading as best as possible. And then you do everything else you got to do from there. And man, I tell you what, it's hard for me to hear somebody tell me, yeah, but on this one right here.
Yes, sir. Exactly. Hey, man, well, listen, I'll let you go. As always, you do a phenomenal job. I'm going to try to text you in a little bit, or I'll shoot you. What's your email, AJ?
AJ, use AJ at KYOKsports.com.
Awesome. I'll shoot you an email, man, and then we'll connect.
Sounds good, Keith. I appreciate you as always, man.
Yes, sir. God bless.
All right, y'all. Hey, listen, we got to get ready to go. But before we do, let me tell you that because of all of you all's generous love and contributions, we are good for the lunch break weekly pick'em challenge. So today will be the first day. You got to have your picks in by 6 o'clock. By 6 p.m., I need your picks for every one of the games. You just, like Houston and Kansas City, pick who you think is going to win that. Indianapolis and Jacksonville, who's going to win that? The Chargers, Bengals, all the way down to all of the games. Just give me your winners. And then for the Monday night game, it will be the late game, the Tennessee-Denver game. Give me who you think is going to win that and the final score. Pick both games on Monday night, but give me the final score of the late game for Tennessee and Denver, who you think is going to win, and get those into me. You just heard me give you my email address, aj@kyoksports.com. aj@kyoksports.com, or you can text me 832-403-5005. Those are the only 2 ways we're going to do it this year. Either text message 832-403-5005 or email aj@kyoksports.com. I got to have your picks by 6 o'clock p.m. tonight. And then whoever wins, has the most wins, will get $50. And we will announce that winner on Tuesday. And we'll cash app you your money on Wednesday. So again, I want to thank everyone that stepped up and said, AJ, I got $50. AJ, I got $50. What I'm going to do is I'm going to announce the business or the giver of that money for that week so that we can give you some love. And I know some of you say, AJ, I don't want that. Let me do this. Let me let folks know who you are and what you're doing. Let me do that. Please don't take that away from me. So again, Lunch Breakers, thank you. I am working with a sponsor. At the end of the year, we'll try and do the playoffs like we did and have somebody win $500 after it's all said and done. But again, make sure I got your picks by this evening, 6 o'clock p.m. Central. 6 o'clock p.m. Central. Again, give me all of your winners. And then for the Monday night game, for the late game, the Tennessee-Denver game, give me who you think is going to win and the final score, 25, 15, 14, 13, whatever you think it's going to be. Don't just give me the total. Give me the final score, 15, 13, 12 to 10, whatever you think it's going to be. Send those to me via text, aj@kyoksports.com, or you can email me, text me at 832-403-5005. That's 832-403-5005. Lunch Breakers, I'm not going to cry today, but I really appreciate y'all, man. And anybody can participate. Anybody can participate. So if you got friends, family, what have you, you get them involved. It's called the Lunch Break Weekly, Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. I know it's long. I did that on purpose. So again, y'all, I love y'all, man. I got to go. Let me get Sybil Wilkes on here, and then Donnie McClurkin will be after that. Lord say the same. I'll be back for Freestyle Friday tomorrow. Got some great guests coming in tomorrow. Y'all be safe. Love y'all. Talk to you soon.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today about the coronavirus. Up to 9 million people may be eligible for a federal stimulus check but have yet to claim the relief payment. Individuals will have until October 15th to register for IRS.gov's non-filer tool to receive their payments by the end of this year. Researchers at AstraZeneca, who are in the late-stage studies of its COVID-19 vaccine, are pausing the study after a shot recipient's potentially unexplained illness. AstraZeneca did not reveal any information about the possible side effects. Last month, the pharmaceutical company began recruiting 30,000 people in the United States for its study of the COVID-19 vaccine. As Halloween approaches, health officials in Los Angeles County are prohibiting door-to-door trick-or-treating due to the risk of spreading the coronavirus. Carnivals, festivals, haunted houses, and trick-or-treating events where children trick or treat from cars are also not allowed. Please visit SybilWilkes.com to subscribe to my free daily newsletter. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, y'all. I am going to go ahead and wrap it up. As I said in my conversation with Keith, man, my mind is gone. But let me tell you something. Just coming in here every single day, no matter what I'm going through, no matter what's happening around me, it just gives me life. So I thank y'all. Y'all have no idea what y'all mean to me. So do me a favor, y'all. Let's just stick together. Let's keep doing this and not this. This is what people want to do. They want to divide us. They want to separate us. They want us to fight amongst each other. I'm not going to fight with any of you. None of y'all are my enemy. All of y'all are this right here. Even if we don't think the same way, even if we don't agree, I love you and I'm not letting you go. So let's keep strong. Let's stay focused. Let's stay faithful. Coach LaMarcus Franklin, amazing man. Y'all keep giving him love. Y'all keep giving him support. Y'all keep encouraging him and let him know we want him back here on the lunch break. And then again, for the Todds, for the Keefs, for the Karen Gibsons, for the CJs, El Michelle, all of y'all, man, I love y'all. Kimberly Anderson, I love y'all. I just really couldn't do this without you. Dr. Aki, you were right. I didn't get a chance to highlight that enough, but Dr. Aki broke that story before the story broke. So don't take him lightly either. Y'all keep messing with him, get him a date. But y'all, that man was on top of it, okay? I love y'all. Again, give me your picks by 6 o'clock tonight. AJ at KYOKsports.com. Text me 832-403-5005, and we'll have some fun with our lunch break, Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. I mean it. I love y'all. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Lord say the same. Freestyle Friday, y'all.